Well, I'm still thinking how all these things fit together, and also what the storyteller's going to do when he gets to the Management Theory at Work in Radio event. I'm gradually thinking more about that, and I'm trying to ask him to sort out questions of how academics think about management, or whether they should be thinking about management. And I did a little rave about that last week, because I've got quite some various opinions about critique and how that works, and that's worked out okay. I've got some good response on doing playlists. One of the things is, although this is going to be a real live event in the bike shed, it will also happen online and borrow a lot of stuff from YouTube and other places, and maybe contribute a bit back to YouTube as well. If we record anything that fits in, it's probably mostly going to be linking copy, I think. And also I'm going to look at a couple of books which relate to radio. The daytime, on the 12th of August, is going to be looking at management theory, but looking at radio in particular, and maybe how Phonic is responding to social media and listen again aspects of what can be done with radio. Maybe this is an example. The way I'm slicing up bits and pieces. I mean, that wasn't really slicing up. That was 25 minutes just nicked completely. But it's some of the time. Look, here's an example. Let's go back to news from the Sun.
They say it's only a question of time.
Of course they do, because they believe there's no way to stop the fumes. But I think there has to be a way. All we have to do is find it. Right, Trippett?
That was it. I'll try and find another one. I'm sure some of them are a bit longer. It does seem to fit in, because the whole Management Theory at Work thing has been going on. Learning companies probably started 90s, 80s, sometime like that, and the internet, whether that's going to enhance anything or whether it's got its own dangers, that conversation's been going on a long while as well. Here's another one.
Few weeks, they have lengthened to more than 30 minutes at a stretch. In 3 months, he will be housebound. In 6, he'll be awake for only an hour each day.
You know, you can always visit me at the clinic if the fugues get to be too much for you.
I don't have them anymore, Dr. Franklin.
What?
I found a way of dealing with them.
Oh, you mean all this flying around? All you did was frighten Trippett.
You know, there is a way out, Doctor. A way out of time.
How?
So, you're interested.
Of course I am, Slade. I haven't much time left.
I know. And that's why Marion and I are going to help you.
Marion? What's my wife got to do with all this? Slade, come back here.
While Franklin walks back to the car, Slade's plane heads for the gleaming hotels of Las Vegas.
And so it goes on. They're on the Internet Archive. You look for the stories of J.G. Ballard, and there's Canadian radio productions there. There's about 6 of them, I think. And anyway, I think we're going to look at radio and management ideas relating to radio, and also look at a couple of books. There's been a suggestion we look at the New Musical Express as an example of a magazine that's it's going to go free, and also emphasise the website. So that's a change in their situation. But academic publishing is still much as it always has been, I think. There's a couple of books. Styles of Organising by Gibson Burrell has got a case study of Radio 1 getting rid of David Lee Travis and so all the other people that went at that time, and this is seen as not a very good decision, but I think there's a case for that. And it's also interesting to me that nowadays the DJs actually leave. Zayn has gone. So what does that tell us about what the BBC management are learning or not learning, and what the operators are doing, or operations level. You've got to look at operations and policy, and that just goes on, and also rhythms of labour. The thing is that those two books have been featured in video that Critical Management has loaded to YouTube, so they're both quite interesting. They're the most visible books of a certain point of view in the academic world. And Rhythms of Labour is sort of based on folk music and working songs and how that changed over time. And I don't think it's very kind to radio, sort of music while you work, and then United Biscuits, and it's all fairly well, it doesn't really see it doesn't recognise the positive potential of radio. Let's put it that way. Perhaps because there's not so much of it to observe in the UK. I don't know. There's different ways you could look at it, but I think both books possibly need updating if they become paperbacks, and maybe looking at how sound works through social media is possibly an extension of folk music. I don't know. I'm running out of time now. Well, maybe I'm not, because it's the start of the Wild Show. But I think JD will be here very shortly, and I'll talk to him about something else. In fact, blimey, here he is. It's 10 o'clock and he's arrived. So I'm going to play a couple of tracks while he settles in, and I think it's the first one is going to be High Street Blues done in a 12-bar style by Stripey Howling Hancock.